but if it's really good content that you worked on, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I post my social media blog on the Status Quo because I kind of feel like a lot of these women, you know, are interested in doing this themselves, or they're solopreneurs or whatever, and it could relate to them. But if it, you know, if it didn't make sense, I wouldn't. But I don't have a problem with it. If you're a huge corporation, you should maybe avoid it if you have all the time in the world and all the resources, but I don't think it's a big deal.
So you don't even change it up a little bit when you're going from one platform to another?
The only thing I change is at the bottom on the Status Quo, it says like Cheryl Hurley is a marketing consultant at SQ Modern Media. I take that off at SQ so that it doesn't look like I just copied and pasted. But that's really such a small thing. Okay. So when you're ready to write, you have to think about it. You know, like I was saying, you can't just sit down and just write about nothing. You need to have clear, concise thoughts. So what I do with Delmar as a blogging client, I give her an outline, and she essentially writes from there. But it's very clear where this is going. You know, it's got a topic at the top. It's got, we're like, okay, we're gonna have an introduction so that it sets it up and people are interested in it. And then after that, we're gonna talk about, you know, this main topic with these 3 subtopics, so that it's so clear that, you know, it doesn't confuse people and it has direction. And also, if you have a really, really long outline, you're gonna see that you're gonna have a blog that's way too long. So I recommend.
What typically how many words should be in a blog?
I personally think that you should have about 500. I wrote a post where I had like 3,000 one time, but that was exceptional. For the most part, if I'm writing a blog on like how to do something or 10 ways to, you know, do this or why you need this, I try to keep it at like 500, 600 words. So
Is
that people,
it like 500 to 750? Isn't that sort of the
Yeah.
target?
I heard
Right.
250 to 500.
yeah, I mean, it just depends. Like I'm pretty wordy, and like when I write about my personal stuff, it can get kind of long. But I try and like draw readers in so it doesn't seem annoying.
So I like the 250 because normally I'm going to write around 300, and that, you know, and then the time frame that I have. So someone would be safe in going with the 300 words or
Right.
something like that.
And as long as you're offering content like what you do, you don't need a lot of fluff. It's like 10 reasons your business needs social media or whatever, and it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know, you don't need like a 500-word introduction.
Right. And can you elaborate on how you can use photos and you can use other links of blogs that you can put into, you know, insert into your blog, and also video and how you can do things with that?
Right. Well, you can pretty much include any media that you have or think is relevant. I include a lot of pictures just because I write recipes, and no one wants to read a recipe that you know you can't see the food. It used to not be that way, but it is now. So I try to include pictures in every blog I do. I even recently started a 30-day yoga challenge where I do yoga every single day. And when I was writing about what happened that week, I didn't really have any pictures, you know, of me like doing yoga. But I found some like cute little, you know, like this is the crazy pose I did at aerial yoga, and like some funny cartoon about yoga that reflected what I was talking about, just so people kind of have like a moment to relax when they're reading. They're like, oh, there's a cartoon, ha ha ha, back to reading, you know, kind of breaks it up and will keep their attention a little bit better. But you don't need it. You know, if I'm writing a post that's really just information, it's not a huge deal. You know, you're finding people who are targeted more instead of just searching the blogosphere to find something to read. And I'll include the actual details on doing that in the blog on Monday, because I mean, trying to tell you guys what to do now, you go home and be like, she said what?
So
okay.
what you're saying, for those that don't know, you blog about all of these events that we do, or someone in here that has an event that wants to hire you to come and blog for them for their event, you do that.
Right.
Right? But this event, Cheryl will put a blog out on businessovercoffee.biz that will give you all the details of this event. It's very exciting to read because it gives you a great synopsis. Shelley, you've commented on the synopsis before.
Right. So, if there's an event at BOCI that you can't make, you can read about it on the blog because the odds are it will be covered, and you can kind of get the best points of the event on the blog. Okay, so when you are thinking about what you're going to write, in addition to having just the daily outline, I think it's really important to have a sort of stream of topics or outline of topics so that what you're writing about has some continuity, it makes sense as it's going along, and you can do, like series about like week 1 of, really starting your social media, week 2 of it, whatever, so that it flows like a book that has chapters that aren't necessarily, when it's not a novel, but it's like a book of articles. It all kind of makes sense. It goes together for a reason. So I think having an outline of topics is important for that reason. So when you're outlining, go, pretty much in depth. You want to make it as easy to sit down and write as possible. And I know what it's like, even for me. I mean, I'm a professional writer, and I sit down with an empty text box, and I'm like, I have no idea how to start this. If you have an outline, it's so much easier. Right. So, get as in-depth with the outline as you want. I know at Del Mar, sometimes I think, oh, that would be a clever sentence, and I'll put that in there, like, just to kind of, maybe we should talk about this in this part of the outline. And I think that helps cut down on the sort of overwhelming blankness that you can kind of come across with the text box. So after you write these outlines, I encourage you to have an editorial calendar. Especially for me writing every day, I like to make sure I'm not too heavy with food or too heavy with wedding or whatever. So I spread it out on a calendar. I use Google Calendar to kind of see what I'm writing about in a more visual way. And I would recommend it for someone who's even writing, once a week, 2 times a month, once a month. So you can kind of think, okay, well, I'm writing about blogging now, so I think next week I'll write about social media. And then after that, I'll write about how Google Plus is the future. And after that, I'll write about, whatever, so that it's spread out enough to be interesting, and you're not just driving blogging home to die. Okay. So coming up with new content may also seem intimidating. Thinking, what am I going to write about every single day or every week or whatever? But the thing that you will find is this happens, all the time in life. When you hear someone's name and you've never met them before, you're going to hear about them, it'll just seem like people are talking about them more or whatever. And when you have a blog and you have that idea in your head, like, I write a blog about social media, you're going to have more ideas just on the daily. When you see someone like, if Gina came to me and said, I really love Pinterest, but I don't know how to use it for my business, I would say, I think I'll write a blog about that. And things that otherwise you would just say, well, do it like this, blah, 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 and forget about will, seem like great topics for your blog. In addition to that, I recommend keeping a running note of ideas, and I do this just on my phone. Anytime I have an idea of something to talk about or even a title or content, I just keep a list of it so that when I go to write my editorial calendar and schedule out everything I'm going to write about, I have those ideas right there. So, that being said, thinking every day about all of the different things you can write about, sometimes you will run out of ideas. You'll just kind of hit a wall. And that happens even with me. And in those times, I have a few suggestions for what to write about. There's a number of ways or reasons to do something. So something like 5 ways to use Twitter to generate leads, you know, or 10 reasons, like what Sherry wrote about, 10 reasons businesses need social media. That's always a good one. People love the number thing. They're feeling like, I can really get something out of this. This is really informative. So that's always like a popular post. And it's honestly really simple to do when you don't have that, like, you know, wave of inspiration. So if that isn't working for you, try a tutorial. You know, how to design a Twitter background for your business. That would be a simple thing that you already know how to do, and you can just show people how to do it.
And how do you do that? Through screenshots and that type of thing, and then you put that into your blog.
Right. If I'm ever showing someone how to do something on the computer, screenshots are so crucial because people are very visual when it comes to the computer. And telling them, then go to file, place, and then, you know, click that or whatever. People kind of get lost in the, it's like, right, it's so overwhelming. So I try to have screenshots on there so that people feel like, okay, she's with me, she's you know, helping me along, instead of just like, turn left at the tree and then right at the mailbox and you're there, you know, I'm in the car with you the whole time. So another example would be why X needs Y, but Y is where. So kind of like what I was talking about with Sherry, you know, you say why small businesses need a LinkedIn account or whatever. That kind of ties into the first one. But just, you know, explaining, like, if you had a client and you went there and I was talking to a small business and they would say, why do I need LinkedIn? And I would say, well, this, and this. And you could write a blog about that easily. And then lastly, you know, if all else fails, write about your story or your process. People like people. I mean, it's social media. It's social. People like to feel like you're human. They like to find out personal things, you know. And I found this firsthand. I started writing just about my personal life. I wrote it one time. I was like, this will be therapeutic and no one will read it, but it'll be great and I'll be putting myself out there. And it was the most popular post. People, I mean, I get just emails and people will call me and text me and, I mean, like, just comment like crazy when I really talk about something personal. Like Shelly was saying, she knows all about O because, I mean, we're drawn to that. You know, we like to learn
recently
about
got
people.
engaged. We all know that because we
Right.
Congratulations.
I blasted I did. I blasted it all over my blog, of course. There's like the pictures of him doing it. So.
Yeah, exactly. And
well, my parents were taking a video and we like reenacted the moment. So.
Yeah. There's a movie called Marley and Me. How many of you have seen that? Okay, and the guy in there writes, and if you haven't watched it, Cheryl, you need to, because he writes for a newspaper, and he was covering news, and he wasn't doing well. He starts writing stories about his dog, Marley, and he becomes this renowned writer. And so that's what you're saying is just humanize the story.
Right. And I mean, I definitely think that works for business. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to write about my wedding planning on my business blog unless it made some kind of sense. Like, I use social media for, but I'm not going to just say, like, I went dress shopping today and it was really awful or whatever on my business blog. That's, you know, personal in a different realm. But you can write about, like one of the blogs I wrote about with the startup client I'm working with is talk about what it's like to be a startup. You know, people like that. They like to see that you didn't go into it like knowing everything and you're so unapproachable. So they write about, you know, how they got there and the process of, you know, getting funding and being so close into the project that it's hard to see kind of the forest for the trees thing. I titled a blog, if you live in a tree house, it's hard to get that you're in a forest or something like that. And they wrote about their personal process and people really liked that. Okay, so that's pretty much the basics of getting started. And I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions, but I'll explain a little bit about what I do first. So I run SQ Modern Media, which is a complete social media management and marketing firm. We design programs specifically for your business. I see a lot of social media marketers who offer this package that's just like, you get the medium package because you're a medium business. I don't think business really works like that, especially in social media. So I will design a specific program specifically for your business. And the services at SQ include blogging, of course, content design, consultation. We do trend analysis, web design, you know, setting up profiles, managing profiles. I mean, it just pretty much, if you need it, we'll do it.
So you customize the program.
Exactly, exactly. So what do you need? We can do it. Okay, I guess I was a little ahead of myself, but whatever you need, we'll do it. So, and this is definitely a way to connect with your current customers and your future clients. You know, you can't just leave your current customers alone because they bought something from you. You need to develop that relationship because repeat business is the most valuable kind. And you can find future customers to turn into repeat customers by connecting with them and showing interest in their lives. It will grow your business. You know, it'll grow the familiarity and the exposure that you have. You can foster leads using really designed social media. You can also provide customer service, which is so cool. Like, a lot of insurance companies do this, and it prevents what could be a customer service disaster, and it turns it into something positive. Like, whoa, they really paid attention to me. This is awesome. I love insurance, you know, and you'll write about it on your Twitter account, and then that's amazing promotion. And as I said, it does grow your exposure and will increase familiarity. So if, you know, I have Gina in my Twitter feed, I will send out cards, you know, daily, and then it just becomes so familiar to me that when it comes time to, you know, send my cards to my clients, it's like a no-brainer. So if you are interested in something like that, you can of course talk to me. My website is sqmodernmedia.com, and I gave my card out to everyone. So that is the formal presentation, but I'm thrilled to answer any questions about specifics. I guess we could turn the lights on too.
We're going to go into a different segment of this here in just a moment, but that is your advanced, which is what you do. Now, there are several different ways you can get started with blogging. Number one, you can go directly to Cheryl and do it through the stylist, which is what I'm going to call you, because that's what I know you as, but SQ Modern Media. And that's going to be your advanced. If you want to do it yourself, you can also go through Cheryl, or you can do it through our profile. And it's the simplest way to get started. Then you can graduate to WordPress if you're wanting to just start out very, very simple. So I suggest for now, if you have your computers, go to businessovercoffee.biz. If you have a profile, go to your profile and click on blog. And we're all going to do an exercise and do a real quick blog and show you how simple it is to do it yourself right on our site.
Tell us where to go again on the website.
Businessovercoffee.biz, and then click there. That will take you to your page. And then you should go to your page, and then you'll
Should
click
be on the
blog.
very. Oh, it's not even signed in.
No, you're not.
It's on the first page, as far as I know.
Click right here. Yeah. Okay. So that right there is free and extremely simple, and it has tags. Now, if you say, okay, well, I really want some help doing this, right? But my budget is really slim. Then we have created this blog program through BOCI that is inexpensive, where you can still work one-on-one with Cheryl, and Cheryl is compensated for this. So, and she will work with you on just simply your blog right there. on Business Over Coffee for a lot less funds, okay? Then I highly suggest that once you say, okay, I want to graduate to WordPress, and I want to do that, that's where you go into your advanced, and you continue to work with Cheryl, and you are doing it strictly through SQ Modern Media, which we want Cheryl to maintain that business because she's fabulous. You're fabulous at what you do, and but I want you to know that there are tiny steps you can take to get where Cheryl is going. Sometimes we talk about Twitter feed like everybody knows what we're talking about, and some people do and some people don't. So I wanted to talk about that, and then as Cheryl said, let's open up for questions before we go to our blog exercise we're going to do together.
Okay. So one of my goals for this year is to blog, but I want to do an audio blog. I heard you talking with, I think it's Laughter Lawyer. That's what she does. So kind of tell us how that works.
Okay. Well, I would call an audio blog a podcast. I actually did one. When I was talking, I was talking about how I met O. And I think it was like our anniversary, so it was like a little gift. I don't think he read it, but whatever, he's probably better. But what I did was I wrote out a blog because I'm better that way. Like I'm better with writing,
Yeah,
and
I
then
learned it too.
right. And when I do videos, I write it out, and then I try to remember it and look at the camera instead of like reading. But to me, it's better to write it out and then talk. But like for someone like Sherry, she's so good like off the cuff that I don't think it would matter. It would be more like if I called her and said, "Hey Sherry, how do I do this?" and she would just
Whoa.
yeah, right. So that is exactly what I think she sounds like. But you can just
it came out quick.
I know. Yeah.
You can record it on your computer. You don't have to get like mega equipment. I just do mine through GarageBand because I have a Mac, and it just lets me record it pretty simply. It says turn into a podcast, and it's ready to go. I'm not super familiar with PC, so I don't know.
You
So
should be able to
easy it is.
Google.
Can
You should
I
be able to
put
Google
a
that.
podcast on BOC? Can we do that? When we're blogging?
You should be able
I would
Yes,
link it.
in your blog, yes, you
Yeah.
can link it. You can
Okay.
link it. In fact, as questions are coming in for Cheryl, I'm going to go ahead and get Business Over Coffee pulled up so I can show you all where to go. To get to your page,
Why do you turn light
go
on?
here to the top.
We can turn the lights
And
on.
those of you that do not have a computer, you might want to just take notes on what we're doing and write down. I would suggest if you just have pen and paper, write down some bullet points to write about, things that you'd like to write about. If you click right there,
It's
it'll
if you
take
go to your profile, click up the your profile. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're on Cheryl's page.
Can you
Cheryl,
put
would
it
you
on the
get us
wall?
to the home page?
Sure.
What other questions did you have right now? Okay, for those who are watching live, virtual, go to businessovercoffee.biz, set up your profile for free, and then click on blog. We're working on writing a blog. Because you're supposed to go to the home page, just click right here, home.
Oh, I was wondering why I was looking like this.
Let's get out of jail administrator.
Okay, that makes sense.
And your blog that you're going to post this on Monday is not just businessovercoffee.biz, but it's also SQ Media or Status Quo.
It'll be on SQ Modern Media and Status Quo. I'm going to actually sort of start developing an ebook for learning to blog, and that will be sort of separate. The BOCI blog will link to that, of course, but it will mainly cover the event today.
So your ebook is going to be like your ethical bribe to capture people's. Okay, good.
I need your likes on Facebook.
What's your Facebook?
It's facebook.com/SQ Modern Media, and it's new, so I would really appreciate.
SQ Modern Media is what people need to look for. Okay.
Is this on Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm already
What just
there,
happened?
right?
I probably invited you if we're friends.
You did
It says no sync.
I don't know what just happened. We'll
I think the
look it
core,
up.
yeah.
Okay, so.
Yeah, mine reset too.
Everybody's went off?
Mine
Yeah,
does.
battery
I'm
just-
still
No, I think it's just the
Facebook.com
yeah, the computer's done.
/SQ Modern Media.
Yeah, Facebook won't come up with me. I'm not doing anything other than
Okay, you're
trying
in?
to blog on.
All right, go to blog post right there on the left.
You do this.
Must be because I'm on.
Right.
Oh.
Well, you've got, did you already do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you go there, yeah, it's gonna give you a much larger, see. Now, I wanna be able to show this to everybody on the screen. We are, Shelley, are you, oh, it's not plugged in?
Do you have it out? Yeah, I guess we can do that.
Okay,
You
so
don't mind us
we're
using
not
yours?
on Facebook together,
Okay.
so
Okay.
what do I need to do?
All right,
What do you want me
Shelley,
to do, Sherry? I'm-
if you could go to businessovercopy.biz and go
I'm on
ahead
my
and,
page.
and start your blog and
I
give us
did.
some commentary of how you're doing it. Now, at the top, you'll see that there is a place, you'll go to the left-hand side, for those of you who are following online. Go to the left-hand side of your profile page and click on blog. Then you'll click on add a blog post. There's a post title, and then there's content. But if you see right beside that, there's an ad and it shows link, photo, video. You can put video, you can do all kinds of things. You can attach files to this. You can also enter HTML into this blog.
Okay, so if someone wants to see one up, I've already started one. It's Blogging 101, Cheryl Hurley, and all the things that Sherry's seeing. If you can't bring it up, if you want to look over my shoulder just to see what she's referring to.
Then my screen doesn't look like yours.
Well, I'm on a Mac, of course, and you're on.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I didn't
So
know
I'm
that.
saying, Cheryl, I'm saying if you missed today's free workshop, watch for Cheryl's blog on businessovercoffee.biz or SQ Modern Media and stylespro.com. Cheryl will take us through step by step how to blog as a beginner.
Right.
And when will that be up?
Monday. The 101 post will be on Monday, and the today's event blog will be on Tuesday. But I could probably do it on Monday,
Right.
so it's less
We're
confusing.
up. Okay, would you mind cutting the light? Thank you. Okay, so what's happening is Shelley is doing something that's really important to events. If you're hosting an event for your company, for yourself, and you want that PR. Remember, blogging is the new what? PR? So Shelley is doing a live blogging. Cheryl does this a lot. In fact, our entire team is going to be at the BNI International Networking Week doing blogging and photos and live TV and video and all this stuff. But it's real important to get that information out there pronto on the double, so it drives people. What's the reason? It drives people to your website. It drives people to you. It lets them get to know you. So it's important. Okay, as you see, we're in the blog post, but I want to back up a little bit, if you don't mind, so that we can show people how we got there. So let's go right here to the home page. Okay, so when you first go to businessovercopy.biz, this is what you're going to see, okay? That is if you've already set your profile up. Jamelia, am I saying? Jamila. Okay, up at the top, just like on Facebook, where you go up at the top and you click to get to your profile, the same thing here. You click on your name, it will take you to your personal profile. We see Jamila Power Coaching Group. Okay, on the left-hand side, right here it says blog post. So you're going to click there. Now, what comes up is add a blog post. This is how simple it is to do it as a do-it-yourselfer. Then we can get into WordPress.com and show a little bit of that maybe at an ongoing session. But adding a blog post, come up with your post title. If you see there, I was talking about the ad right here, which shows where you can put a link. You can add a photo, you can add a video, you can add text, you can add an attachment. also on the far right there, it says HTML editor. So if you had a video that had HTML on another site, you could copy that, put it right into that blog, and it would show up just like that.
But you gotta click over from visual mode to video editor to pop in your code.
That's exactly right. Thank you, Shelley. Say that again, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
See
we
up
do.
there where it's, yeah, you get on the HTML editor, and that's where you would drop in the code that the video would create for you, or the audio
Yes.
would create for you.
Then you would go
Or the
back to
photo
visual
would create
mode,
it.
and it would show the video before you published. Okay, so right here is the content area. And then if we can just slide down. Okay, tags. This is extremely important. All right, so Jamila, if you were writing, tell us some target words that you think you would use.
Probably coaching, executive, leadership, strategies.
Business.
business,
Okay, so you
management.
put those words in there, comma, after each one. Now, what does that do for you? Can somebody tell us what that does for you when you put those tags in?
Tags help you be found by other people.
Exactly. So the search engine optimization, when somebody goes to Bing or to Google and they say, I'm looking for something about coaching, executive coaching, all right, then hopefully you've posted enough that you're going to be at the top of that search when someone searches that out. That's how you reach people all over the country and abroad, all right? And that's how it turns into making money, which is what we all need to do. We all need to live, right? We need to eat. So now, tags, I can't express that enough. That without the tags, you're really just wasting your time. Shelley, would you
See,
elaborate on that?
I'm not finding it here. I think what was said very succinctly. I'm sorry, I'm focused on, I
That's
can't
okay.
find tags.
Well, how about under more options there?
More options.
You may have gone in the same way that Jamila went in. There is a very quick blog option. Does not give you a tag option. So make
There it
sure
is,
you
yeah.
go to your left
Okay,
and
keep
click on blog. Okay, now, what date would you like this to post? So let's say that you're doing this on a Saturday morning and you think, well, I want people to read this when they come in first thing Monday morning or whatever, Tuesday morning. Then you can schedule it. You can choose a date and time in the future where it will post. All right, privacy, I always make it everyone. I mean, that's a whole different topic. But if you're on lockdown and you're in prison behind social media, then you're wasting your time. You shouldn't be doing it unless it's only for maybe a team. Maybe you've written for your team or something like that. That's different. But everyone would be, to get people to come to you for business. Who can comment on this post? That's up to you. If you want to put everyone, if you want to put just your friends. Really though, let's talk about comments. Comments are important, so let's talk about why everyone should be listed on there.
Right. I mean, the more interaction you have, better. It's social media. It's such a good way to get in touch with people who are reading your blog, whether that's customers, future customers, or people who are just interested in it. So what I try to do at the end of every blog post is ask an open-ended question, and I make that text bigger than the rest of the post so people are drawn to it. And I try to make it, something that they'll care about commenting about, like about their personal lives, like we were talking about, to get that conversation going. And honestly, a lot of people will judge you by how many comments you have. So, I mean, there's that also.
Okay. It says you are not currently moderating blog comments. So you may say, okay, I want people to comment, but I don't want just anybody to be able to go in there and write anything they want and then it's out there, okay? I understand that because I do moderate what happens on this site as well as our team does. So you can change that to where when someone does comment, it actually will land in your inbox with the email that you've got tied to this blog, and you can then approve that particular or decline that particular comment. So that's important. Now, there is not a place, or at least I have not found one on here to do a spell check. So if you want to do a spell check, it does show you little red squigglies that's what I call it, squigglies, that a word is misspelled, and you can click on that and it will show you that type of thing. So Unless I've missed it, if somebody can show me, that'd be great. All right, so
No.
what questions do we have about this do-it-yourself on our site, which is a great way to start?
Okay, so once you've got your blog post, what do you do to share it with the world? Make sure people are seeing it.
On this site?
I'm just asking what you do.
What I do, okay.
Once you posted the blog, how do you tell people it's there?
Okay, well, that's a good question. So if we'll go to home. Okay, at the bottom you'll see publish. So you would publish. Once you've published, then it's going to hit our administrative. We approve it. And, okay, so go to home. And then you may very well end up featured on our front page. And we have 1,040, I believe, members right now. So when it's featured on our home page, that's great. You may even end up in our weekly newsletter, week links. And then our team also shares those blogs that are featured. And I'm getting ready to show you how to do that.
Mine's waiting approval, Sherry.
Yes, yes, exactly. You could actually go and approve as your administrator.
Oh yeah, my
Okay, how can I go back
Yeah,
if I'm waiting approval and then I've seen that I've got a typo?
You should be able to go back in and
To
edit
edit
it.
the blog post.
Yes, you can go in and edit, even after it's published, you can go in and add photos, you can add videos, you can edit your tags, you can even edit your link, because it will automatically create the link based on the title that you put. But if you change your title, it usually doesn't change your link, so you need to go in and edit your link on there. Any questions on this simple start of blogging?
Is there a max number of tag words you can put in?
That's a good question for a blogger.
I don't think so. I've used probably at
Yeah.
times
I know,
like 75. So
I know at some websites they limit you. I think it just depends on the website.
with WordPress, if it's something that's just an application, I mean, I'm not sure about BOCI. I use a lot, but with WordPress, it's pretty much you can do what you want. So I don't think so.
So these blogs posted here would be for someone who logs into the BOCI site, is that correct?
That is
Correct.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, you're gonna see it on the BOCI site, but you're gonna show up because of our SEO. You post the blog on there, then you're gonna show up in the search engines where people may not find you otherwise. They're gonna come over to that blog that's on our site. But the point is that when you post it, you're going to have your profile tied to it, which has your website, which means it leads them to you. And I also encourage you, when you do your blog, regardless of where you put it, whether it's WordPress, on our site, or whatever, make sure that you link your website in there. Because you may be writing about something just educational that has to do with a conference you just attended that doesn't have anything to do with your business. But you want people to know that you're the writer, and it drives them to your site, because that is the purpose, to build relationships and bring in business.
Can I delete a blog?
Yes.
I need some help, Sherry.
Okay.
I have a question. That's okay.
Yes.
I was just wondering, how can you connect your current blog to the BOCI website? So when, like, you know, if I post on my blog on WordPress, it automatically sends it to my Twitter and my Facebook.
Mhm.
Is there a way that you could do that with BOCI?
You should be able to do an RSS feed. Okay.
Okay.
On your. Well, let me answer one. I'm going to show one thing, and then we'll go to that question,
Okay,
Caroline.
that's fine.
Thank you. That's a good question. Okay, so right here in the middle, this is our home page, and right here you'll see blog posts. Okay, this lady is from Dallas, and she just posted "Facing Your Small Business Debt Consolidation Head On." And you'll see Cheryl here, a candid conversation where she blogged about a radio show. Let's go to how to get started journaling. That's Delmar right here. Let's click on that. Now, Delmar, you did this with the consultation of Cheryl as well, correct?
Yes.
So will you elaborate on how that relationship is when working with Cheryl, and how this is going for you?
Yeah, that was my first post with the help of Cheryl. Me and Cheryl had a one-on-one a couple of weeks ago, and we just talked. and I told her what I was trying to do in what I call my reinvention mode for 2013, and how I want to fuse my knowledge of HR, my passion for coach, career training, and my long time connection with journaling. How I want to actually fuse that together so people understand that the power of the pen connects with even whether in your personal or professional life. So we're starting out with actually how to start journaling. A lot of people, you know, may have had, you know, diaries, you know, when they were younger, or, you know, a lot of adults now do journal, but they may just journal about their personal life all the time, but they don't understand that there's power in the pen, even in your corporate life, your personal life. And Cheryl, in developing consistency over the next 12 months, is going to help me fuse that together so I can show you how the two actually connect, because I'm not a one-dimensional side person. You know, we always want to get in that one lane, which I was doing in HR, but there's too many sides of me just to stay in that lane. So I'm trying to fuse it together so people will understand that, you know, that there's a connection between how you actually operate in your business, how you actually operate in your corporate life, and actually, like I said, putting the power of the pen to that, and how it actually is a psychological and physiological benefits to journal, whether it's in your personal or professional life, and that's what I want people. That's what I'm trying to get to over the course of working with Cheryl over this course of this next year.
And so she assisted you with this
she
blog, but
yes,
it also has your personal touch to it.
Yes, has my personal touch to it, and being a good listener as well as a professional blogger, she gets where I'm trying to go, and she's trying to help me get there, because I started journaling in 2011. Yeah, 2011. 2012, I think I wrote one journal. I mean, I wrote one post, because I don't know, blogging just wasn't on my radar last year, but I knew that it needed to be this year, because I'm reinventing me, and I need to take people along with me in what I'm doing. So she gives me an outline to draw out of me what I need to talk about, because I told her I'm the kind of person, she when she talked in her training today about looking at a blank page, all I saw was blank pages in 2012. I never wrote a blog. But in 2011, I wrote a blog all year long.
There's a testimonial for Cheryl's consult.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a question was asked, how do you share what you've done? Okay. First of all, this promote right here, thumbs up, is going to go, when you click promote, whether it's yours or somebody else's, it's going to our home page. Now, as you know, Facebook now charges $5 to $7, depending on what you're promoting, to do that. Okay, we don't.
Okay,
now,
so one more time, let's clarify that. So when you click to promote, it's actually putting it on the front page
the home page of BOCI, but there's ways to share it elsewhere.
Okay.
Okay, so the promote's the first thing you push. Maybe your back button, probably your back button. Yeah, okay. And now, obviously the Google +1, you can share it there. You can share it on Twitter. Or do you have a Twitter? Okay. Let's see what happens when you click on that. Okay. I wanted to show you how it automatically does the tweet for you. You don't have to worry about, what am I going to write here? It says checking out how to get started journaling for your personal and professional on Business Over Coffee International. Now, if you'll just look down a little bit on that arrow there. Okay, so it only allows you 2 more, because on Twitter you only have 140 characters. So it's fitting it all right in there, and you just click post, and it's out there. We'll do other ways to get it to go to several different feeds in another session, because there's so much you can do with that to get in. You know, if you do hashtags for business or coaching, it's going to land in several different areas.
I have a question about that. When I try to post and like something, I have a personal profile on Facebook and I have a business page on Facebook.
You want me to tell you how we do it?
Yeah, how do you put it on the business page?
You
and not on
create,
my
wherever you're posting, you can create a bit.ly code that'll shorten it so that you're not eating up so many characters on Twitter. bitly.com, and it will let you put the long one that says blah 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 coach bitly.com. Then once you get that short code, I just put it in a Word document or a text. And this is what I want to share on Facebook, on my integrity-based communications page, etc. So what I'll do is just an opening sentence. Thought you might want to see some thoughts on blogging. I put in the bit.ly code, and then what I didn't do on mine is I didn't do the integritybasedcommunications.com. I just don't even think about doing that. And then I highlight the whole thing that way. I drop it into LinkedIn, I drop it into Facebook, personal, drop it into Facebook, integrity-based communications, drop it into my Twitter account. Now this is not one click. She's giving you a one-click option, but this way you get to control where you're going, because a one click is only going to put it on your personal Facebook page, not on your integrity-based communications.
Doing it herself, basically.
Right. So, but it's real simple. I mean, every time I do a blog post, then I run it through SEO Presser, you know, to make sure I've got blah, blah, blah. And then I show myself what my keyword was, what my percent effectiveness was, how many keyword percentage, etc. So I've got a little diary for each blog post. And then at the bottom of it, I show what I did with social media. And I'm always going to do LinkedIn, 2 Facebooks, and Twitter. And what I need to do is start, you know, sending it back. I need to do something, and that's what I need to learn from you, Cheryl, is how to take a post that I've done and now bring it over to the OCI, because I thought you couldn't publish the same content.
So Hootsuite is another place to schedule.
Yeah.
And it creates the bit.ly.
But the only thing about Hootsuite is, and it's a really good thing because you can post something across multiple social media websites. But the thing about it is the way Facebook and those things rank things, if it comes across Hootsuite, it doesn't get as high as a rank. It's better if you post them yourself.
Yeah. So let me show you how I do that, because I post mine myself most of the time. I love the share button. The share button is your best friend, okay?
So after you've done a post, you just do the share?
Yeah. I do the share. Now, I do the Google Plus and the Twitter over here. But depending, see, most of your sites, whether it's our site or someone else's, you're going to have a share button. I love share because it gives you, there's hundreds of places to post. So you can find LinkedIn, Pinterest, all of that.
You can actually get an app, like I know I use Fox for my browser. You can actually get a shared app to put on your browser, and that way if you're on a website and you like it, and it has a whole bunch more to choose from.
It does. It does. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But this is Facebook. This is where I'm going to show you how to do it, how to post on Facebook. Go to Facebook. Okay, so you can post it to your own timeline, or click up here. In a group, I suggest you join 5 groups that have to do with your business or market. It's your market, whether it has to do with your business or not, but it's your market. Small Business Memphis is a great one. National Women Association.
National Association of Women Business Owners.
That's a great one. We've got one, Business Over Coffee, and there's a whole lot more to choose from out there. But definitely 5 groups. And then you'll just put the group name in, and it will allow, you'll share link. So you'll do this, like if you're a member of 5 different groups, you're going to need to do that 5 times. It's going to take you about 30 seconds to get it to the different groups, okay? You can also, if you click here, if you have a business page, you've already put it on your personal timeline. Maybe you don't want it on your personal timeline. Go down to on your page. Now you can post it to Power Coaching Group, and it will automatically post for you once you push share link. Now right here, let's say you want to send it to Shelly, but you don't want to do on a friend's timeline thing. So you go to in a private message. Now you can send it to anybody you want to if you want to share that particular link with them privately. Okay? All right, so if you wanted to share this particular blog, like on LinkedIn or something like that, you would need to go to the top of the URL, copy it, and take that over and share it on LinkedIn, because there's not a place on the share button to do that through our site.
Yeah, and it used to be that LinkedIn would let you have your feed, your blog feed right into your LinkedIn page. It doesn't
Yes,
do it anymore.
I know. You can put your WordPress in there.
Probably do it for the premium if you pay for it. They'll probably let you do
Yeah.
it.
Okay, so I know Caroline had a question, and did I answer your question
You
for
did.
you? Okay. All right. Now let's go. Now what we're showing you on this blog on our site through the profile. There's no cost for you to do that. You get a free profile with us. You can blog free, right? I've already talked to you about the benefits of becoming a professional member. I'll be glad to talk more. You can talk to Shelley or talk to Delmar. Now I'm going to go to the question that Caroline had. Are we on the homepage?
Homepage.
Cool. Okay, so right here is where you can actually post your status updates, and if you click on Twitter, it's going to hit Twitter as well. Okay, because we are an online social community as well. Let's scroll down. Right here are the events that are coming up. Continue to scroll down. Thank you so much. It's okay. It's all right. Okay, so if you go down to right here, a candid conversation. Let's click on that blog. This is one that Cheryl wrote about the radio show, and pictures are inserted. You'll see links. BOCI Talk Radio, that takes you to the radio show. Rising Fire Production takes you to their site, and so on and so forth. So that's how you do that. If you remember up at the top, when you created your blog, there's a place that says a link, and you click on it, it shows you where to link those type of things. Okay, let's go back. Okay, now let's continue down, and I want to show you the RSS feed. Now, you should be able to do this on your profile page. You see that RSS? And I'll show you how to get there. But this is an RSS feed that we have coming to the site, which is from my blog, sherryhenley.me. So if you click on 31 Days to Becoming a Pro, it's going to be a WordPress site. So this is when you graduate from, you know, and we would still want you to continue to post on our site, but when you graduate from that and want to go to, I'm nowhere in the league of Cheryl, so Cheryl's the pro blogger and Shelley, but I'm more of a medium, you know, blogger. I don't call myself a blogger. I just write occasionally, but I enjoy it. So this took me about an hour to set this up. It's you learn it as you go. So that's a whole different ball game. But that's WordPress.com is where you can go to set up a free blog on WordPress. Okay, let's go back to Business Over Coffee, and let's go up to, if you go up to the top and you click right there on your name, which is your name will show up if you have a profile with us. Okay, now let's scroll down and see where how you can put your RSS feed in there. Let's see if I think it's on that side. Does it allow it? There we go. Okay, so do you all see that? If you have a WordPress site, go ahead and put your RSS feed in there. And Cheryl, were you aware that you could do that?
Yes,
Okay, good.
So you can do it on Business Over Coffee and then drop in under RSS feed to your own Shelley Bauer, integritybasedcommunications.com.
I don't know if it actually goes to your WordPress, but when you post to your WordPress, if you do your RSS feed, then all your WordPress blogs are going to transfer over on the side right there on your profile page.
Oh, cool.
Okay? They won't post to our blog there in the middle of the home page, but they'll post on your profile page those particular blogs that you've
But
done.
what I could do is the same thing I do for social media. I could do that tiny little intro
Mhm.
with the bit.ly code and drop that into a blog post
Yeah,
on
exactly.
BOCI.
Exactly.
What is RSS
mean?
Really simple syndication.
Oh, okay.
Really
I'm glad you
simple
answered that because I didn't know that. See,
syndication.
that's why I
I
love
never
having.
knew what RSS was. I was like, what is that?
Really
I didn't either. I just
simple
used it.
So
What do you use it? How do you
Yeah.
use it? What is it used for?
So when you go on here and do that, is the title going to stay RSS or is it
No,
going
no,
to be the
no.
title of your
So it
thing?
used to be that integrity-based communications blog posts by RSS feed would go to LinkedIn. They've stopped doing that. So I would not only be promoting it up here on social media the way I described it earlier, but it would take the whole blog post and the most current one would be showing on my LinkedIn page. They don't do it anymore. But it was
Exactly.
through RSS feed
Right.
that the minute I posted it, before I could even get to LinkedIn to support it with social media, my post was already up.
Yeah, and so that's what happens now. Well, you can do that on our site. Doesn't cost you anything. It's just a part of setting up your profile. Another thing that you can do on our profile, if you go up to the top, and to answer your question, the RSS, it syndicates. So if you're tied, the more sites you're tied to with RSS, the better you're going to be found because you're out there in a lot more places. Okay. Now, up here at the top, and this is just a freebie today. If you click on that, it says Loading Design Studio. You can actually go to themes, and there's about 30 themes that you can choose from, and with one click of a button of publish, you can make your profile page look the way you want it to look. Okay, so this is really good for people that don't have websites, that say, okay, well, I could use this for my website for now. And so you can customize your profile page, and that's just a freebie.
And where is that?
That's up at the top. If you go all the way up,
Themes.
click on your. Oh, you're there. I'm sorry. Click here. And then click on themes, and it'll give you about 30 options of themes that you can use for your page. All right. So now that right there leaves us with 15 minutes before this is over. So I'd like to open up for conversation and questions for Cheryl, because Cheryl has the advanced side. I'm giving you just the basic side of blogging. So let's open up.
Is there a word count? You mentioned 300 to 500 words. Is there a word count?
On the application?
Yes.
It's right at the bottom underneath, so you can kind of monitor that.
Okay. Can I also translate this to other language?
I'm sure there's a plugin for that.
Okay.
I don't see why not. I would have to look into that, but I'm sure that's a plugin that they have.
Okay.
It's certainly, you can do it with WordPress.
Can't translate in WordPress?
Oh, cool.
Okay. Why don't we go ahead and turn on the lights and.
Oh, I do have a question. I started, I did an email course, like a email course thing. And at first I just did the email course. And then the email just got way too long, and so I attached it to a blog just so they had no clue that it was actually something that was right to do, but I was just doing it so I can have the rest of my content without it being this long drawn out email. So you link to it, they click on the link, and then it goes to this blog site. Now I haven't done any tags, I haven't done anything, but I have this blog site with like 6 plus 4, I just did another one. So I got like 11 posts now on my blog, not purposely doing these, are just emails I was sending out. So I guess next steps, I guess, is my question. If you have something, I guess I need to talk to you one-on-one, because I'm trying to figure out how to bring that all together.
Yeah.
It's like I've got something valuable, but I need to figure out how to
Yeah, it sounds like you have
capitalize it.
like an ebook or something.
probably.
And what you
course.
could do is you could turn that into a PDF,
Right.
and it becomes an ethical bribe when they come to your site or your blog post, and you say, sign up here for 10 tips to email etiquette. They have to give you at least their first name and their email.
Right.
Sometimes you can get
Right.
cheeky and ask for their phone number too, and if it's valuable, they'll do it. And so you've now got them to feed into your autoresponder, and they've got some valuable content. It's called an ethical bribe.
And I think I've done that, and that's why I guess you've seen it. One of them, you're on my list, aren't you? One of them, they have, that particular one is password protected, but everything else I've blogged, it's just open. So so it's not an email book, it's not a PDF, it's on the actual blog site. So anyway,
But
I
then
need to
you
pull
can
it
turn
all
into
together.
one.
Right, I see what you're
So there are
saying.
people
Yeah.
who could stumble upon it later.
Right.
And go, oh, that was there. But
Yeah.
now that you've got enough,
Mhm.
and keep in mind too, everybody, every time you do a blog post, from Google's point of view, you just put another page on your post.
Exactly.
So for the professional, the advanced person who does it every single day, that means she's got 7 new pages a week.
Mhm.
If she
That's exactly
search engine optimizes that, she's got 7 times more chances of being found than someone who's not posting and not SEOing
Mhm.
their work.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely need
So
to.
at the end of the year, you
have
got
a job.
365 pages. Who do you think Google is going to say is an expert?
Right.
Right.
Her or someone who's posting once a month?
Right.
And see, I'm the
Exactly.
offender. You don't have my dates. You don't know how
What-
long I have been posting. There's lots of stuff up there, but
Well, I didn't post today, I feel really bad.
One point I would like to make is with a professional membership with BOCI, which is very inexpensive, we have, and we don't have our marketing materials out on this, people don't even know this. We offer social media review, okay? This is an option. We have about 6 reviews that you can choose from. You get 2 reviews, okay? Blogging review is another. Speaking review, speaking techniques is another. Business plan review is another. And
website analysis.
website analysis review is another, and professional imaging review is another. So you can choose 2 out of those. So just so you know, blogging is one of the reviews that we do. It's an online review that comes with your membership. Now, before we go any further, I would like to, any questions you have about blogging, see Cheryl, see Shelley, because Cheryl, you're going to be swamped when this is over. I can tell you that. Can we get some on Instagram through my phone and upload? That'd be awesome. Thank you, Caroline. And the tech team's doing great, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Are there any questions about BOCI that I can answer for you, or Shelley, or Delmar? How many of you plan to come next week? Click and connect. Jana Cordona's going to be here.
Who is? Jana.
BNI.
BNI Executive Director.
Okay, good, good. Melinda, I want to welcome you.
Thank you.
And you're from Talk Shop. You came to the last event we had, the big party. So tell us how you heard about us, what your experience has been. Also tell us about your business. We want to know about you.
Well, I am kind of reinventing myself also. And I joined Talk Shop last year to kind of develop some local networking. My business background is I've been bringing new products to market, primarily to Home Depot, Walmart, Lowe's,
Yes, you
in
told
the
me.
hardware industry. And so I have lots of connections as far as knowing where to go there. But one of the things that I learned is over the last 20 years, if you had anything good, somebody else would do it better. So there was always an end result of whatever you were selling, it ended. And I spent some time educating myself and learning about direct selling. And I have, I guess, kind of created a passion for myself that looking in the next 20 years, that the direct selling market is going to be a great opportunity for a lot of entrepreneurs, because they're not going to necessarily be able to open a bricks and mortar business
Right.
and take their product, to a brick and mortar business to sell. So the internet business is huge. And so I've kind of involved myself with a couple of companies. One is a company called Tomboy Tools, which is a direct selling company that sells pink tools ergonomically made for women. And I make a product for them. And so they actually...
So you're innovative.
A little bit. Most of the products I've taken to market have never existed before, so I've had a good opportunity of convincing a buyer or a retail buyer that this will sell on a store shelf, and or taking something that's never been sold on a store shelf. So with Tomboy Tools, I created a product. They said we need to develop this market for independent distributors. So I'm helping them with that, and so we're looking at marketing opportunities. Not just as, and I know what I've discovered is there are hundreds of direct selling companies, hundreds of women who would like to stay home and manage their own business.
Absolutely.
And doing lots of different things like the send out cards. There's a professional side to all that.
Yes.
In addition to that, from a personal standpoint, I kind of fell into a weight loss program called Plexus Slim. And when the first person that told me about it, I went, oh yeah, well that's great. I really decided I was going to get serious when I saw her and she'd lost 60 pounds 9 months later.
Wow.
And so it was a very new company. So last year my commitment was I was going to lose 52 pounds. My New Year's resolution. I didn't quite make it. I lost 47.
Congratulations.
So this year I
That's
decided
awesome.
that I was going to make, my resolution to lose another 40. About May, she sat me down and said, do you realize from the day I told you about this, that I started, to today, how much money you've walked away from? And I said, no. And so she showed me checks in excess of over $200,000.
Wow.
And she's a pastor's wife down in Akron, Mississippi. And what our goal is to utilize what y'all have here and see if we can create an opportunity for the team we're building throughout the United States to utilize something like this, more innovative than just the other teams that are just saying, one-on-one sharing.
Right, right. So you would, what I'm hearing you say is that you are a specialist in direct marketing and getting people placed in the right areas where they could work and make money from home.
Well,
Is
number
that
one, what I'd like to say is that, I'd like to teach and emphasize that this is not a negative word. And when people understand it, if I said, well, I was in real estate, that would be a very professional, acceptable title. Insurance people, athletic people, real estate people, they're all in direct selling. So it's a matter of teaching people knowledge. And I've kind of created a circle that says, we have 1% of knowledge about this industry.
So you need to blog.
I'm going to blog. Actually, yes.
Good. You're an advertiser with Talk Shop?
I am.
Okay, so you get half price on your professional membership the first year. So that's a special that we have with them. Mia, you came in late, so tell everybody what you do.
I am Mia Earl. I am a health educator and a reflexologist. So mainly right now I provide reflexologies and some wellness coaching to help individuals deal with health issues such as headaches, migraines, stress management, back pain. Almost any health issue can be relieved through reflexology.
Yes, she's very good. I've been to her before. And tell us, you've been with us for a while now, tell us what BOCI can bring to the table for people.
What I've gotten from BOC is more of the personal touch. I've gone to a lot of groups and it's more or less sharing cards and you don't really get to sit down and talk to people. So the personal touch that I can reach out and touch Sherry and she's there and she can walk you through some things has been my biggest asset to BOCI.
Yes, and we are in collaboration with many groups, Talk Shop, BNI, NABO. So we encourage people, post your events on our site because we want to help you promote those. That's what we do, is social media. That's you can tell my eyes just light up when I talk about it because I enjoy promoting people and bringing everyone together. That's our tagline, that's our mission, and that's what we do. So when you come with us, you don't just get us. We had 33 different networking community groups that were involved in our holiday party. So to me, that spoke for itself as to what we bring to the table for business owners. Because we're all about bringing you together with other connections, collaborations, exposure, and business. Now we are wrapping up. We've got 5 minutes for everyone to network, pass out cards. I'm available to answer any questions you have. I invite you to come next Thursday, 9 to 11. We'll be in a different room, and it's going to be our main event, our networking event, Click and Connect. So I hope to see you here. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For the tech team, I don't know if you can hang around, but I do need to